Welcome to 360 degrees. Well, actually, I don't know what that is, but it looks like you actually need a montage. Well, then you guys can suggest the kind of montage you can have for this particular channel. I'm actually very excited today because I have a guest in the house, a very important guest, and also because our channel has over 100 subscribers. So yeah, I have a lot of reasons to be happy. So let's go back to my guest. And before I give you the old shine of the team, so allow me to introduce you a bit. Okay, so I met this person during a conference I hosted last year. It was a business conference and it was a round table. So I had to, when I was trying some couple of questions aimed that had to do with business, I mean the way it was answering, you could like feel it that, bro, Afana. It's only you that work home. It's only you that knows everything about business. What's up now? And the funny part is he actually did not come from a business background. So today, I would allow him to pour out everything coming from his background to why he decided to become an entrepreneur, to choosing this particular business, because he's actually into food business, and I mean, okay, so let me say two more until you actually need it. So, ladies and gentlemen, with the standing ovation and the resounding clap, boy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome with me, Miracle Goodwin or John of HTML. You need to enter this channel like you are my very first guest, so you bring on the vibe as you are coming in. Miracle is coming in, drums roll.
Let's work it small before Nigeria start chasing us. That's why we rushing.
And I mean, the point at which Nigeria is right now, I think we need to take things slowly. You just can't rush.
You just have to be very careful.
So welcome once again, Miracle. Welcome
Thank you,
to
Opeyemi.
360 degrees with Opeyemi.
Thank you. It's great having me, and it's great having you too. Welcome to 360.
Thank you. Even though I'm still fighting you, Miracle, you've been planning. What was that? Was it an hangout or something? Guy, I'll cast you. Things. But then, you know, busy men now, that's how they do. But okay, I'll not fight. I'll just keep it like, I'll keep that one.
Most times we need to, before we go out on any hangout or anything, we have to, even after you plan, you might still have to replan that day. So we don't just give out words like that for hangout. We're trying to hang our life
busy
around.
Businessmen should also have time to like, okay, say they want to do other things like flex and all of that. Hey, record is when they are fine.
We'll
they are fine. Okay, fine.
We'll create time for family and friends.
Alright, so good to have you here, Miracle.
Thank you very much. Thank you
so much for coming on 360 degrees with Opeyemi.
Thank you.
So without wasting so much time, we're going to move into the business of the day. I believe that right now you want to get your cup of tea. Maybe your cup of tea or cup of juice, and then sit down because you don't want to miss any part.
Sip water, please.
What?
Sip water.
Sip water, yes. Sip water. Okay, Miracle. So to go into the business of the day, the very first question I'll be throwing at you is, I want to talk about your business background. How did you get to start doing the things you're doing now? What is the food business? I mean, I didn't talk about the fact where those people, HTML foods, those guys can cook. Okay, let him give the gist. Don't worry, I will not spill too much. Let him give the gist.
Okay, so my journey as an entrepreneur, it started while I was very young. I grew up with this mindset of believing I should provide solutions to any problem. Yes, so I'm quite handy. My hands work well. My hands are good. I'm skilled with my hands, and I love thinking outside of the box. I don't want to be fixed by a problem and get weighed down by that problem.
Probably how to go about it or something.
Yeah, so I always find a way to get it done. That's how I am built. Like, that's how my mind works. So I grew up so much when in school. Then I had an understanding of what it was. When I was 16 years old, everybody they were asking in class. Then in our secondary school, I went to a Unity, a federal government college school, and they were like, "What do you want to become?" This one, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse. I want to be this. I want to be a pharmacist. All those stuff. And I could remember the answer I gave them. I just told them that I want to be a boss.
Oh, Moshe.
That's what I told them.
I want to be a boss.
And growing up along the line, I started understanding what I was doing was entrepreneurship, because it was even explained to me in class. And I believe so much in providing solutions, and in providing valuable solutions. And along the line, I've been able to learn a lot of vocational skills. I don't want to start naming them, but I can do a whole lot. So along the line, I just had to start picking up stuffs I want to just focus on. I know all these other stuff in the future, I'll be able to supervise a team of people providing solutions in different industries. And I don't just want to be a boss, I just want to be a team leader. Along the line, I begin to understand I just want to be a team leader providing valuable solutions. And it's been panning out well, but the journey has not been really easy. Looking at where we find ourselves in Africa and the kind of environment we find ourselves.
Maybe that Nigeria is not even giving us all the opportunities that we need.
Yeah, so we are just, let's say we are surviving through the process. When there's a war, we always find a way to break through it. When there's another war, we find a way to break through. I just keep surviving. So practically, it's been a tough ground in the city, even in the nation. It's been a tough ground, but it's actually been a breeding or broadening, whatever the English is. It just makes you stronger. That's the word.
Beautiful. So, Miracle, you've run a food business that is actually one of the best food business. For me, I can say that even in Nigeria, sincerely, because HMF would have to be one of the food I've had, and then I'm like, if you guys have an outlet, maybe somewhere outside of this Nigeria, people would only come to your outlet to eat Nigerian meals because your food are like super good. So, why the food industry?
Okay, it all started when I served in Ondo State, Akure, Nigeria. My youth service here, 2015. I stayed together with my friends, which IT brought us together. I facilitated what we call side skill acquisition entrepreneurship development program on camp during my set, the 2015 batch C. They needed a facilitator which they could not get from outside, so they made it open for core members who are. So I just showed them a little of my papers and my certificates in software engineering. I just showed them a little of my paper and told them I could volunteer to do that training. So I did that with one of my friends, and then we joined forces. I met a friend of my colleague and co-founder, Tony. Also met Emmanuel on camp. I met Oluwole. I met Steve. We co-facilitated Said ICT, and ICT brought us together, the five of us. And when we were posted to Akure in Ondo State, and we decided to rent an apartment, a 4-bedroom apartment, to stay together, the five of us. And staying together was fun for us. We were doing solutions in IT, ICT, and one of the things that joined us was the fact that we were cooking our food in-house. Yeah, and we came up with this stuff, and we were looking at it that, okay, instead of going out to buy food, stuff like that, why not we contribute, the teamwork contribute, and then we're contributing 3,000 naira. That's currently now it's just like roughly $6 together. Like everybody, yeah, you understand. Mm-hmm. So we're contributing 3,000 naira, $6 currently. Five of us, which gave us 15,000 naira then. So we could buy foodstuff in the house that could take care of us for a month. There was a day we were discussing, and it came to a point where we were just asking ourselves, and I'm like, guys, Alpha, you should be able to cook now. You should be able to cook. What when you marry? What happens when your wife is not around? The way things are changing. Wife have to go to work. Husband has to go to work.
So some guys now want to even become chairman, boss, madam. Okay. So you have to learn to cook.
So you understand. Madam. So who is going to come home first? Both parents have to get a job to fend for the family because of the way things are going. So anybody that comes home fresh should not be waiting. It's not a duty for. I can't see anywhere that they say it is a woman's job to be cooking. I only have the understanding growing up that the woman is supposed to be the helpmate for a man. That's the understanding I have. So meaning a man, you should be able to do it. What the woman should do is even to help you make it better. It's not that you make her a slave. So I have that understanding. So having that understanding, I was talking with them and we started cooking in the house. So I was able to teach some of them basic meals they could not. And likewise, we had friends, members coming to the house for the food. And some of them were ready to even give money because the food they were seeing in the house was better than what they could eat out in the restaurant. And it was fun like that. So we finished service, we were pushed with the problem of where to get jobs from. And practically for me, I was not thinking of going to get jobs. I was already baking cake then. I mastered my art in cake baking with Mrs. Fasheyi. I love that woman. She's an awesome woman. And I could bake cake then and there. So when we finished service, we started stuff like shawarma, and me, Toya, and Emmanuel stayed back in Akure. We started with shawarma for public sales, though our first deal was a birthday catering for a friend of ours where we catered, and that was our first major deal that we had money for our business. And then we have not even registered the business, HTML Food. And how the name came about was a day we were just playing and we're just talking, blah blah blah. Olu asked the question, what would we even call the name like that? So we started saying, so we should call it a name that links us to IT, and people will know that these guys are still IT guys. And the reason we could not start our IT businesses in full was because we could not fend for the resources to make it happen. So we needed to provide a way we could fend for what we could do, something we could start small that does not require so much capital, which was the food business. So our first major deal was the person paid. We rented some of the equipment we needed to use to prove.
We need water or something.
No, for now. So we needed we rented some of the stuffs we used to make the food happen. So that's quite not capital intensive to start the food business. Along the line, we were on that. We were telling people, if you want us to cater for events, we can then. But we had to think of something we could be doing that could be bringing cash flow is king in business. That could be bringing. So we started shawarma. Shawarma was going on, just becoming so stressful, and we had to be sincere with ourselves one day. And we managed one of the bank's restaurants. From there, we learned some few things. It was like a research for us in the city. We learned some few things about how the people relate and what their buying power was, and we left that place and started the food delivery system, which is one of the strongest in town, with many challenges. Every time we talk about it, we just tell ourselves we are just 5% there. We still have 95% more to go in terms of excellent service delivery, because there's so much we need to put in terms of the resources we need to deliver those services. So basically for now, we just see it as MVP. And what people always say, you guys are so good. We just see that MVP. We are not even there yet. So that's what we tell ourselves, to just keep encouraging ourselves, so it doesn't get into our head.
I mean, Miracle, you guys have been doing super well, and I mean, I must commend you guys. It wasn't even as though you had a lot of money saved up somewhere, and then you built something really nice. In business, what are the pros and cons? I mean, the advantages, the disadvantages, the growth process. What has it been like?
Okay, there are a whole lot of challenges in business when you decide to set out. First, you have to even deal with your family. That's a major challenge. Like, I had challenges with my family on setting out business, and they're like, go and pick a job, secure job that you could be earning monthly, save from it before you could. But I didn't see it that way. I believed so much that when you provide value, money will come. And one of the things I have learned through this process is that I ask myself questions sometimes. I'm like, wait, what if I had so much money to start? What if we had so much money to start? Probably would have made a lot of losses and make it on a large scale. So starting small and helping us understand our environment. What is on paper is mostly different on what is on the street. So you could make a plan, but you enter the street, when the street start boxing you, you have to adjust your strategy. So it is very good to start small, understand your environment, see how your environment responds to the solution you are providing before plunging so much funds into the business. And that's why I always tell my friends that anywhere we are going to set up, we are going to have the MVP strategy to start in that location, not to just plunge so much money. Understand what the culture is. For us, basically, I see why businesses fail. You need to understand the culture of the people first and inculcate your business goals, business core values with their culture.
That's like really beautiful. And I mean, for anyone who is actually in the business, I think you would have been able to deduce that starting small is not a bad idea. It looks like even the best thing to do.
It's actually the best.
I mean, it saves you going into jamming your head with a big risk.
Yeah.
And then you won't be able to recover from it. Because I think that's like what really happens to most people. Maybe they put in large fund into business, and at the end of the day, everything goes down the drain and they can't pick up themselves again.
Exactly.
So it like weigh them down, and it's totally bad. So I mean, starting small is a beautiful thing. So basically, now talking about starting small, I would want you to talk about businesses, like creative businesses that people can go into for those people that love to become entrepreneurs too, or people that they don't even have an idea of what to do, but they would love to do a business. What are the things you can ask them to do? Like, what advice would you give to them? What kind of business would you recommend that they can go into that would probably require them using little funds or maybe even nothing?
Okay, basically, I know.
Okay.
The basic needs of man. For anybody that wants to start business, you can walk around the value chain of the basic needs of man. What are the basic needs of man? I've forgotten the guy's name according to economics.
I think it was the grandma's law.
Yes, that's it. So
based on the fact that I did some one or two.
Yeah, so
psychology.
There's food, clothing, shelter. Those are the basic needs of man. For food, I've explained our experience and how we're able to start with no capital. Now for clothing, how can I start clothing? The same application. If you have learned the skills of clothing, let's say for instance you're a fashion designer, you could just hook up designs and say I can do this, I can do that. Start from there. When people start bringing in funds, you can use the proceeds of delivering a product to reinvest into that business. That's what we did. We stayed low. The proceeds from our business, we reinvested it into our business. Now, this is it for me. This is the mindset. If you cannot reinvest the proceeds from your business over a period of time, how do you expect? How can you even make use of money invested into the business? Those are the questions I asked myself. And having been able to discipline ourselves through that process, we stayed. We held on. It's called delayed gratification. We said no, we're going to do this. Money that comes from the proceeds of the business, we invested it into the business, not to go and squander it, stuff like that. Sometimes when money comes, they're like, this money has not come. We still have needs for the business. Please let's just put it back there. And that's one of the things that has helped. Likewise for fashion, you can do that. You can also sell people's clothes that they've made. That's a basic business. When you talk about shelter, real estate, for instance, you can be an agent to start with. From an agent, you can be a landowner. From a landowner, you could be a property owner.
And I mean, to be an agent, people really spend money to be
an agent. Just put out the word, like, you have to work. Stuff like that, very simple. Then, now, within these three major stuff, you could even see that there are value chains in between. Let's say for the food industry now, you could even be the one in charge of connecting a farmer and a buyer. Middleman, yes. So these are value chains in between.
You're not using your money. You have to just to make sure that you're having good connection with people.
Yes. So basically, for every other business you want to do, there's always a value. There's a nitty-gritty. There's a mini tax in that business that you can start without so much money. So you don't have to be sitting down. I've been waiting for money. Money is not coming. Start somewhere. Within that value chain, you will meet your point.
I think in a little time, Miracle has covered basically the important things that you need to know about business, which is like very key and you should hold on to. So Miracle, before I let you leave, what would be your advice basically to anyone looking to start business? I mean, or people that have even started and it's rough for them.
Okay, basically for me, simple. Be value driven. I would say that any day, anytime, it has worked. Any day, anytime. Be value driven. Now I see Starting business, most people want to start business because they want to earn money. Yes, it is your right to earn money. Why are you doing business if you are not going to earn money? But actually, when you make that the focal point and money is not coming, you could just want to give up. But if you are value driven, you are focused on giving value constantly. I always say money is a byproduct of giving value. If you give value, money will definitely come so far you are diligent to what you're doing.
So give value. As long as you're giving good values, people would always pay you for your services. I mean, that looks like some really take home words from today's episode. It's been an amazing time with Miracle on 360 Degrees with Opeyemi. Miracle, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. But before you go, the problem now is that before you enter, I have dropped a gum I was supposed to use and glue something for cake on the seat. The particular space where you're seated, I was going to ask you to sit here, but it's like you sat before me and it's like very strong. You could have glued your trouser to this seat and I'm scared. So you need to like stand up very small because I'm scared. You're not going to tear your trouser. So let's just like try. Just like try to come up like small. Be careful because if you say big. Anyways, there's nothing there. I was only going to prank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's been an amazing time with you. I want to believe you picked one or two things from today's episode, having our very first guest. So Miracle, say sweet words to amazing people, the most amazing people on earth.
Just keep doing and stay on what you're doing.
Just keep doing you and stay what's that?
On what you are doing.
Stay on what you're doing. Thank you so much. So you've been watching 360 Degrees with Opeyemi, and I want to believe you've had an amazing time watching Miracle talk about business. So don't forget to do your thing, be yourself, and give values for everything you're going to give to people, and then the pay will definitely come in. So enjoy your weekend, and we'll be here together again next week, Friday, 6 p.m. Bye.